The market explodes higher after supposedly bad news from the Fed, and now we're starting to get the setup we've been looking for. This is Invest with Jacob. Okay, guys, if you've been watching this channel for any amount of time, you know that I don't believe news cycles move the market. I found it a little bit comical today that I got an email with a market summary today, and the headline was S&P explodes higher, Fed expects to hike rates 3 times next year, and COVID explodes in Europe. Now, two of those things are very negative for the market, yet the S&P exploded higher. Throw in runaway inflation, throw in Russia and China escalating, throw in the Omicron variant, whatever you want to talk about that's negative, there's lots of it out there right now, and the market continues to push higher. This is because news doesn't move the market, sentiment does, and that's why Elliott Wave Theory is so powerful. And with this move up today after supposedly bad news from the Fed, we have the setup we've been looking for. Now, I'll get into that in just one second, but first, if you're new here, welcome to the show, guys. My name is Jacob Gabbard, and this is Invest with Jacob, where we use Elliott Wave Theory to break down the S&P 500. I highly encourage you to hit that subscribe button down below so that you can get our daily S&P updates, our trade setups, and our buy alerts. Okay, guys, so after the Fed announced that they were going to hike rates 3 times next year and taper quicker than we thought, the market moved up about 100 points. It's the biggest 4-hour green bar I've seen in quite some time. It was very impressive and kind of unusual, to be honest with you. But with that, it does give us a setup that we're looking for. So let's jump into the charts and take a look. Okay, guys, here we are on the 5-minute futures chart. And I do want to note one thing before we move forward here. I get a lot of requests for bigger picture views. And the reason I don't do them very often is because I have a whole video called The Big Picture, and nothing has really changed from that video. So the targets are all the same. The outline is all the same. Everything is set up exactly the same. We're just grinding out these smaller waves. So I stay pretty zoomed in on these videos because we're trying to trade this and give actionable items on what's happening in the market now. I do give them periodically once every couple weeks or so of just a slightly bigger view, but nothing changes. And until it does, okay, until something in the bigger picture changes, it's just kind of repetitive for me to go do that again. All right, so check out that big picture video. It is the main video on my channel, and that explains everything from the beginning till now, okay? So here we are, guys, 5-minute futures chart, and we got that low, okay, a couple days ago, moved up, came down. I thought they would push it lower yesterday, but when the Fed news came out, they decided they had made their low, and they wanted to start up in wave 3 as it appears right now. So this was a little lower than I thought, or a little higher than I thought. Didn't go quite as low as I wanted for wave 2, but with this move up, we can't argue with what the market is telling us. So right now what we're looking at, guys, is a 1, 2, 3 in place for wave 1 of 3. Now remember, we got bigger wave 1 here, bigger wave 2 down here, and then we're building 5 waves for wave 1 of bigger wave 3. So you got 1, 2, 3. We're looking for a wave 4 pullback to the 382 retracement, and then 5 up to give us wave 1 of wave 3. Okay? Remember, wave 3s are going to be the biggest waves, and we count all 5 waves individually, so we make sure that we get everything we're supposed to and have our count correct. So what we know is that wave 1 of 3 usually targets the 0.5 or 0.618 extension of waves 1 here and 2 here. Now, I've drawn in the lines here. Right here is the top, and here's the bottom, and it gives us our extensions going up here. So our 0.5 was 47.05, which we've already exceeded. So it looks like they want to target the 0.8 for this wave 1, which fits in nicely here, assuming we can get the pullback we're looking for in wave 4. I do have my doubts that we'll get a full pullback here, but if we do, that's great. And then a push up in wave 5 towards this 47.31 area to complete wave 1 of wave 3. Okay? Then we get the setup time. Okay? This is where we're looking for the setup to buy and look for the best trading setup you can get. So you have wave 1 of 3 up, wave 2 of 3 down, and then you're looking for to buy wave 2 here at the bottom so you can get wave 3 of 3. Now wave 3 of 3 is the longest, strongest of the waves. It usually goes the fastest, and it is a great trading opportunity because if you get in right here, you have 60 points of downside to invalidate below this 2 here, while you have about 300 points of upside. So it's a very high reward, low risk trade. It has a high follow through rate, assuming support holds here. and we break this pivot up here, which I'll talk about in just a minute, and it has a very low risk side. You get 60 points down to where it invalidates versus the 300 points up, okay? So what we need to happen is we need them to finish a wave 4 pullback. As I said, this could be very shallow. I hope it's deeper than this. This is not really much of a pullback at all. But wave 4 pullbacks have been very shallow in this market for a long time, since the 2020 lows. So I don't necessarily expect us to hit 4670, but I would like us to, because it just creates a stronger structure. So we look for a pullback and a finish up in 5 here, and then we look for the wave 2 setup so that we can trade the wave 3. Now, once we get into this area where we are building out wave 1 of 3, we have to start looking at our pivot, because we have 1 and 2 in place. It gives us our ideal targets for the pivot so that we understand how to confirm that wave 3 is likely happening. So the pivot, and we've talked about this before, is the 0.618 extension up to the 0.764 extension of waves 1 and 2. And the reason it's the pivot is because wave 1 usually targets the 0.5 to 0.618. We pull back in wave 2, and we want wave 3 to take off above wave 1 and clear the next fib to confirm that we have wave 3 happening. So the pivot is the 764 here at 4763 and the 618 at 4731. So we would look for wave 1 to complete, wave 2 to pull back, and then if we can push back up through the pivot, okay, that is what gives us a strong indication that wave 3 is underway, and we should be looking higher towards that 4,900 area, okay? So the reason these are the two levels we choose, there's a couple reasons that I told you before, because wave 1 targets the 618 and 0.5, and we want to clear the wave 1. And the other reason is this is where it should hold for your wave 4 of 3 pullback. So if we go up here and look, okay, we've got wave 2 here. I have the wave 3 right now at the 1.0 extension. That is a common target at 4814.50, but the more common target is actually up here at the 1236 extension at 4866. So when it comes up to the 1.0 and fails, we expect it to hold the 618, which is the bottom of the pivot. When it comes up to the 1236 and comes back, we expect it to hold the 764, which is the top of the pivot. Okay, so that's why we have this pivot zone here. 1, it confirms the upside, and 2, it confirms that wave 4 is held, so we can continue pushing up in wave 3. Okay, so that's why the pivot is important. That's why those fibs are important, and that's why we have a pivot. All right, so for today, we would like to see a pullback. This was a really bullish run here. I'd like to see a little bit of settlement down here, a little bit of retrace to give us a stronger structure, because if we retrace and fail, it's going to fall fast. I would like to see a retrace and then move up to complete 5, or move down in 2 where we will look to buy, and then moving higher from there. I don't think all of this will happen tomorrow. I'm just telling you the total outlook of what we're looking for over the next few days. Now, if it does push straight higher to the 0.618 and then pulls back, we will just count that as wave 1 and count this very shallow pullback here as 4 and look for the pullback from there. The other alternative here, guys, and this is a big one to understand, if this fails, okay, so you got 1, 2, 3. What else counts as a 1, 2, 3? How about A, B, C up, okay? Could complete a B wave, where this would be an A wave, and this would be a B wave. So if this pullback fails, it will fail hard and fast. It will break through the 382. And once it does, again, we can go lower than the 382, as low as the 0.5. But as you know, if wave 4s come below the 0.5, it is highly likely they fail. And really, I don't like it to come below the 382 here. So if this fails, it will fail in a C wave, and it will fail hard, and it will fail lower down here towards that 4577 target we were talking about. So that is the alternative to the downside, is that this is that this is an A down here, B up, and then we would have a C wave down from there into that 4577 to 4550 area down below. One thing I will give you is caution here. I am cautiously optimistic about this setup. The reason I am cautiously optimistic and not totally optimistic, because it's a very strong bullish move here, is this over here really makes me nervous. I don't like how this topped over here. It's very ugly. We don't have a clean wave 5. Even if you count it over here, it's not clean. If you move your 4 here and your 5 up here, you have a 3-wave structure. It's incomplete and it's sloppy. I don't like it, and it makes me nervous when things don't complete the way they're supposed to. Additionally, this 2 was a little shallower than I expected. So there are some things that make me very cautious about this structure, but it is pointing us higher as of right now. And this, guys, this is an important aspect of Elliott Wave that you need to understand. It's not perfect, and we can only take what we're given at the moment, but it does give us key levels. So I know now that if we break this 38.2, it's much more likely we're coming lower in that C wave. Okay, so I have a key level here to understand when this fails. And that's what's really important about Elliott Wave is the key levels. Getting the counts right, very difficult, but very important. But more importantly than that is understanding when moves happen, when do they fail to follow through. So our key level is this 38.2 at 46.70 on any pullback. And then once we come up here, the key level will be the bottom of this wave 2. We can come back as far as that in this wave 2 pullback and still have a valid chance at a wave 3 higher. Okay? So understand your key levels when you use Elliott Wave. That is one of the most important aspects of Elliott Wave, because even if you have your counts wrong, your key levels aren't. Okay? And that's very important to know. So I'm cautiously optimistic because of this top over here being sloppy, this bottom being a little higher than I'd like it to be. But the pattern right now is higher, and it is a great setup should it follow through. So that's what we're looking for in our primary. Guys, if you like the information that I put out in these videos and you want real-time market updates from me, you need to get in my Facebook group. There's a link down in the description. If you go ahead and click that link, it will take you over to Facebook. Now, you do have to get approved to get into my group, but the only thing that I ask is you subscribe to my YouTube channel. So hit that subscribe button down below, come on over to Facebook, and I will get you in the group. To get the most out of this group, hit this featured button right here in the middle and scroll down. You will see a link to my documented trades. This is everything we've traded in the channel since it started. Scroll down just a little bit further, and there's a link to my Slack channel. Now, Slack is just a free chat channel, and I'm on there all day during real-time market hours, giving real-time market updates, giving out my buy and sell alerts, and answering all of your questions. It's a very talented group of traders from the very beginner to the very expert, and it's a great place to learn or improve your trading. So come on over, guys. Let's make some money together. All right, guys. Key takeaways for today. We're looking to see how this pattern plays out. We have 2 key levels, the 618 up here at 47.3125. We should look for that to hold on any moves up and then get a pullback. And the 38.2 retracement at 46.70. We're looking for that to hold on any pullback before we get to this level, okay? So we're looking for the 38.2 to hold and then up to the 47.31 to hold. And then we would look for a pullback in 2 and hopefully get to start that wave 3 of 3 towards that 49.50 target. All right, guys, that is the market update for today. I will talk to you tomorrow.